It's the time for the package from China. Let's go! The Sega Saturn, I love this device. And I must say there are some things that you need to know if you maybe didn't know. We're needing a lot of attachment or better said upgrade cards. Think about the N64. But this time we're going to have an ultimate solution for that. It doesn't even matter which model you're having, if you're going to have the PAL version or the Japanese in my case, or in custom edition, you're going to need eventually the RAM function. And if you want to save a game and you want to play on different region games, you're going to need to have separate different cartridges. But nowadays we're going to get the ultimate solution for that. So recently I picked up this bad boy, the Sega Saturn all-in-one, the only on Sega Saturn, kinda weird. But what they are trying to say with this is very simple. This is a cartridge that can do everything. But there are some pros and cons and there are some different versions out there. Here you can see like it's already displaying some of the cartridges that we're normally going to need. Think about the RAM for saving, then we're going to need like the extra RAM or the extra memory. With this we're going to need it for a couple of games and then we're going to get the cartridge if you want to use some action replay. I want to say action replay, they also call it like Pseudo Saturn Archive. But the thing is like if you want to have like a lot of extra features, stuff like that, region unlocking, you name it, there are a lot of things you can do with a Sega Saturn. You can buy all of these cartridges loose and you need to basically like swap them all out, or you can get one of these bad boys and have no problem whatsoever. But okay, so what can we do? That is of course the main question. So first of all, this is the only on Sega Saturn and it means that this device is only working on that. But there is another thing you need to do, and it is very important. When you're looking on, let's say, certain pages where you can buy this, the problem you will have is like we're going to get all kinds of versions. And then what all kinds of versions meaning like some we're having not all of the functionalities that you have with this one. Here at the back you can see it very clearly. Here you can see like it shows if it has a menu or not. Then we're going to get all kinds of versions when it comes to it. Like say you're going to get only the action replay plus a megabyte memory card. But we also have like only with let's say the 1 and plus 4 MB like expansion. So there are a lot of different versions you need to take consideration. This is the ultimate card because yep, this thing has basically everything. It got the RAM card 1 and 4 MB that we're going to need for a couple of games. The Pseudo Saturn Kai. Then we're going to get the 8 megabyte memory card and we're going to get the region lock and the region unlock. And the reason I love this thing because this just makes it so more convenient. So yeah, only having one freaking cartridge and we can use this thing with every single game. But another thing I need to take a close look at is at the top, because there we're going to get the Switch. I'm not talking about the Nintendo Switch, no, I'm talking about the Switch that we can see over here. Here we're going to see the indication. Here it says P4M, P1M. So basically what we're going to get is the 4 and the 1 megabyte upgrade. So there's something you need to take consideration. If you're going to put it all to the side over here, we're going to get the PS. It's also called the PS Pseudo or Pseudo Saturn Kai. I don't know how to pronounce that freaking thing. But the thing is like, that is basically what you need to do with it. So you don't need to unplug it, but you need to slide for the certain game. So I think it's a very convenient thing and very cheap. So let's take a close look at this cartridge inside my Sega Saturn. Let's do the unlocking of the region for the Japanese, but also for the PAL, and just mess around with it. And whatever, let's go. Okay, so first of all, let's try the Japanese Sega Saturn I've laying around. Here you can see it boot up with the original game. So we're not going to bother playing anymore because we don't want to try it out with Japanese game. We want to try it out with the PAL game. So let's try the PAL game and I will show you that it doesn't work. It doesn't boot up. Okay, reset again. And as everything goes to plan, it doesn't boot up the PAL game because there is no modification done with the Sega Saturn or whatever. And then we're going to place in the card itself. Here you can see like it doesn't boot up the disc. So the next thing that we need to do is turn it off, plug in the cartridge, turn it on, and everything goes to plan. Now it will boot up the PAL game, and just wanted to show you what happens with the Japanese system and a PAL game, and of course the unlocking cartridge. Here you can see it shows the pure Pseudo, I was butchering the name, boots up automatically without touching the controller. That shows the Sega logo. And here you can see it boots up the PAL game. So okay, that part works. So let's turn it around. Let's try if we can do this with a PAL system and try to boot up Japanese games. Alright, so let's boot it up. And we're going to try the Japanese game inside the PAL Sega Saturn. Let's see if this card also works with this. Let's give it a reset. Let's close the lid. And let's see if it's going to boot up the Japanese game in the PAL. Automatically it will boot up, but we're going to give it a push on the controller. And let's see if it's going to boot up the Japanese game on my PAL system. And if this cartridge is basically usable for both regions. Here you can see the game boots up, so that's pretty damn awesome. So when it comes to unlocking, doesn't even matter what kind of region, it will work on your Sega Saturn. How the compatibility will be, there's nothing of information. I tried a couple of games, all of my games seem to be working just fine, but this is my end result. Okay, so next up, let's take a close look at the Pseudo Saturn Kai Lite menu. So for the people who are just into the stuff like entering cheats, stuff like that, you can enable cheats to the system and just boot up the games this way. I think it's quite genius. There are a lot of stuff pre-installed, as you can see over there. So let's take a close look at the game that's in here. It already shows Darius Gaiden, the game that I have in here. Full weapon, play 1, play 2. So let's choose this one. Full weapon for play 1. And it boot up the game. Again, we're still having the unlocking feature. I'm playing on my PAL system at the moment. So I think it's pretty damn awesome to see that we can even have multiple, let's say, devices in one, and it works very well. Okay, so next up what we need to do is test out the memory upgrade feature. So here you can see like my Street Fighter 03 game doesn't boot up at request a 4 MB upgrade. So the thing that we're going to do is turn it off, put it on 4 MB, turn it back on, and let's see if it boots up. Alright, so let's boot up the game again. I skipped the part, otherwise it takes forever to record this video. I just wanted to show you that it doesn't give you the warning. And here you can see the game boots up like it should be, when you're having normally like a 4 MB upgrade pack. So now I can finally play the freaking game. Alright, so let's boot up the game. And you can see it works just fine. Let's do a quick gameplay. So I think this multi-game card is super convenient. You don't need to swap around the disc or the cartridge itself, mess around with disc and all the mumbo jumbo. You can just play your games. And if you need to swap, you can always say, hey, we're going to swap with the Switch. And if you want, you can even cheat a little bit. Mossot! But the question remains, is this the ultimate card that can unlock your Sega Saturn? I think it is, because when you're looking at this cartridge itself, it's pretty damn awesome. Like, it has a lot of great features. You can cheat, you can unlock, and you can even like have some extra extended memories, so you don't need to have all the mumbo jumbo of putting a different cartridge in. You let me know what you think of this. I want to thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit that little bell, become one of the Wicked family, and I will see you in the next video.